Welcome to the Amor Fati podcast, everybody. What's the deal? That's capital A-M-O-R, capital F-A-T-I. Do not forget it.
Nope.
This is a special one, guys. We got a really special episode today, man. As you can see, obviously, we're in a different setting, right?
Clearly,
Yeah.
this is something that you're not used to, but get used to it. Big things coming, man. Who we got today, man?
Well, first of all, I got to give him a really, really good rollout here. Really good rollout.
Drum roll, please.
My brother and dear friend, who is a pretty damn good entrepreneur, fashion model, fitness guru,
Keep going,
and bodybuilder. Is in the building today. Give a shout out and a warm welcome and an applause. Everything you got for my brother, Frank. Let's go.
Let's go, Frank.
Appreciate that.
Good to have you on the show, man.
I appreciate that, man. I've been looking forward to this.
Absolutely, man. We've been looking forward to this, man.
Yeah.
We're in the beautiful city of Chicago. As you guys can see the skyline, man. I'm certainly excited to sort of break down some really cool topics today. We got some cool topics planned for you guys. Sound off in the comments if you're an entrepreneur and you want to hear any advice and any gems from us, because guess what? They're going to be dropped today, guys.
Definitely.
For sure. Before we get started into the nitty gritty, we just want to catch up with you, man. See how you've been. See how everything's going.
Yeah, man. I've been. First of all, I appreciate you setting up this. This is great.
Yes.
Like taking a drive over there. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
But man, kind of what we were talking about. I've been good. I've been bad, but all at the same time good because I'm here.
That's Amor Fati.
So
That's right.
Amor Fati.
That's right.
So yeah, man, we'll get into into the details, but man, life has been hard. The entrepreneurship journey is hard, but it's something that I love, and I can't imagine doing anything else, because this is one of the things that gives you the most dividends in life, not even from a monetary standpoint, but from a personal growth standpoint. I don't know any other journey that amplifies your growth like entrepreneurship. It's a long distance, never ending game of life.
And I want to dive deeper into the good, bad, and the ugly, like you said.
Yeah.
One question that's on the top of my mind, though, just kind of being an entrepreneur myself and starting another new business model and going down another avenue. What is something that's present in your mind right now as an entrepreneur? One thing, somebody stops you on the street, says, "Hey, what's your biggest and greatest advice to me as an entrepreneur?" What's that one thing that sticks out in your mind right now that you would tell that person?
Don't stop, keep going.
Simple.
Why is that?
Because the thing with entrepreneurship, like you just mentioned, you're about to embark on another journey, right? Like myself, I've delved into multiple entrepreneur journey, like business and things like that.
Yeah.
And, I kind of wish that I knew this back there, but it's those businesses would have worked out if I kept going. They would have worked out if I kept going, right? And I'm now learning this this far into my career, in my journey.
Facts.
It's as long as I just keep putting the reps in, I'll yield the reward that I want. It's much like in the gym, dude. It's I apply entrepreneurship and fitness.
Yep.
Man, it's so related.
Hell yeah.
In multiple different avenues, and I'll dive into some of those. But the same process of somebody that's trying to gain muscle or lose weight in the gym, it's the same process of building a business, right? A lot of people go to the gym, they'll try multiple different things. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Like at the end of the day, they get burnt out, they get exhausted from trying all the different things, but they never really put depth and time on doing one particular thing really good. That's gonna yield the result that they're looking for, you know. And so that's the thing. That's the same thing with entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Pick one thing that you really want to do, and invest a heck of a lot of time into it. For the past 4 years now, and I've been building multiple businesses, but two that I'm currently focused on right now, which is Lion Media, my marketing firm, and Slooper. Yeah. Slooper's been going for a lot longer than that, but but prior to that, there's multiple things that I started in the past, which all failed because I didn't invest the time and the energy into that. It's something we call in entrepreneurship like the shiny object syndrome. It's today we see the shiny thing, we want to chase that. Eventually, something happens. We just this doesn't look good anymore. What's the next shiny thing that I want to jump? In terms of business, is it crypto or is it NFT or is it whatever?
Yeah.
these new things come, and a lot of people would jump into it. Like, oh, and
So
then,
like, in other words, like the attention span of entrepreneurs seem to be very quick
Yes.
and very short in a way. Yeah, because in terms of what you said, I saw this graph that sort of illustrates what you're talking about. It's like people think the path to success is like a straight line, or maybe like even if they have like a little bit of realism, maybe like a little bit of a wavy line, then it's like right here. But then it showed like this line and then jumble, then it goes straight up. So basically what you just explained is kind of like that, man.
honestly.
And then sticking to one path too, right? Sticking to one business model, you know what I mean?
I can relate. I mean, I'm in the gym too, and it's not until you focus on a muscle group that you see the growth.
Yes.
There's a lot of shiny objects in the gym, you know, that you could just, you know,
Literally.
yeah, you can get excited about. You're watching YouTube and social media, and people are just grabbing everything that looks cool in the gym. But it's not until you know how to master that bench press, master that squat.
Yep.
I think there's like a Chinese proverb. It says, "I am not afraid of the man that knows 1,000 strikes that he's only practiced once."
Ooh,
But I am afraid of the man that knows one strike that he's practiced 1,000 times. And yeah, I mean, there's so much truth in that, because
No, for real. That's a go.
I think it's called the shotgun approach, where you just, you know, throw everything on the wall, see what sticks. But like you become a master by focusing on that thing that you mastered. Right. So I like that, man. I like that.
precisely.
Absolutely, yeah. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Right.
You don't want to be that person.
Right.
You
And
know?
just honestly, just to add on top of that, that's, I think, for a different situation, I think the shotgun approach does work in particular situation.
Right.
And kind of like you mentioned, like the jack of all trade, I do think you need a multitude of different skill set.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like, obviously, you don't have to go in depth into them, but gotta have one thing that you're like exceedingly good at, and then kind of, I think it's a model. I'm actually working on recording content on this, but it's a T-shaped model, like a T, you know. So it's like at the top of it, you have like multiple skill set.
Yeah.
Right? This could be videography. This could be marketing. This could be sales. This could be operation or something else. Right? Being a little good at some of those different things, but then pick one thing that you want to get, like, I'm gonna be the best at this thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that just kind of makes you more valuable as an individual.
Right.
You know, it makes you more valuable. Because imagine if you just know one thing that you're really good. Yeah, I think that's valuable. But in a sense, you're in the dynamic of the world. I think you're very limited if you just know that one specific thing and nothing else.
Yeah, that's a very true thing. I think a lot of us, in a way, especially entrepreneurs, tend to be like Renaissance folks, right? Where we have a lot of specialties. But to your point, it's like, make sure that you focus on that one thing.
There you go.
Be very good at that one thing. Have a myriad of options and trades that you partake in. But make sure that you are hyper focused and tunnel vision on that one thing and succeed very heavily on that. Talk to us about Slooper, man. Any news, any updates, any new things? I want to hear about it. I know the audience does too.
Yeah, Slooper's it's my baby, man. I mean, before I even jump into Slooper we started when I was still in college. Right, it's, I was in college. I was doing Slooper.
What year was that?
That's a very good question. This is between 2018 and between 2017. Because, man, if I show you like the inner workings of Slooper, first we started like a drawing of the logo and stuff like that, you know, and then the whole concept just kind of build. Okay, let's get some T-shirt and start printing our logo on it. You know, just local T-shirts. Start printing a logo on it, start selling that.
Yeah.
And all while in college, and eventually we were able to like get enough capital to find a manufacturer that can produce high quality material.
Yeah.
You know, with Slooper design and whatnot. But yeah, this Slooper started in 2017.
Wow.
It's still active today, but not, you know, just not as fast, obviously, as I wanted to grow. But
it's 2024. You've stuck with it. I mean,
exactly.
And I remember back when I was living in Westland, and you approached me about it at the house. What was that, like 7 years ago at this point, man? So that's just a testament to, you know, your focus and your drive as a businessman. So tell us a little bit more about it. What's new with the brand? Yeah.
So the last collection that we launched was 2023. It was a summer collection.
Yeah.
Ethereal was the name of the collection.
Yeah.
And so that's the last collection that we launched. Now, with entrepreneurship, with business, it wasn't our most successful collection because we still got like inventory, like products that we need to liquidate,
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's been hard on that business alone, because like obviously if you don't sell, then you don't have capital to kind of reinvest back into it,
Right.
Right, yeah.
And so it kind of puts us like, okay, cool, we need to liquidate this inventory before we can, also like the multiple designs and collection that we want to launch, before we can invest in those designs, because there's a lot that goes into it.
That's a good point.
There's a lot that goes into it. But
Yeah.
right now, it's our time is it's kind of split into multiple different things.
Yeah.
So right now it's like, okay, cool. Let's like I'm taking a little step from Slooper, because I have like partners in it as well. Like I'm taking a little step on Slooper to kind of put more of my attention on like something else that has that yields higher dividend, which is like Lion Media.
Yeah.
But yeah, Slooper, this year we want to launch a athletic collection, right? I don't know why it kind of blows my mind why we didn't do this before, because me being into athletes and stuff like that, that's
man.
Yeah.
I can use something like that on me too.
Yeah.
Them slipper hoodies.
Yeah.
With my understanding of fitness, I think we can really dominate that market. So
Hell yeah.
that's the next collection that we're launching. It's kind of secret, but it's
He'll show us after.
Yeah.
Hey Frank, I have a joke. When you have a podcast and someone's promoting something, the guest always says, "Hey, I'll show you after the podcast. I'll show you two only."
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
Would you be interested, like, say in the future, you get approached by, say, like a Target or a Kohl's or something like that? Would you be interested in partnering with those big box brands?
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of, because I know the athletic like departments can be really big for the clothing for those kind of
Absolutely, yeah,
stores.
absolutely. Just anything to kind of get us more distribution. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Target, Kohl's, if you're watching, let's partner up, right?
Hey.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. Any other updates with Slooper right now?
Yeah, like I said, like the next big thing is going to be this athletic collection that we're going to be launching. But outside of that, it's honestly trying to find talent to build the team, because it's like my time is very limited now. It's like I can't be doing like everything anymore. So it's
You
like
have to
trying
delegate.
to find exactly.
Yeah.
Trying to find designers that can help with that. Some people with like the marketing front, content, and a host of different type of things. So we're very much in we need to re-strategize our approach and essentially how we want to be presented in the market.
For sure.
I'm sure too, like you said, you stick with it. A lot of times we don't know we're in a season of growth and a season that we need to be in to get to that vision, that goal,
Yeah.
And I think it's just so impressive that you're doing these different things, period. Good or bad in your eyes. I think it's one of those things where you find out what works, you find out what doesn't work, and that's necessary in any business, because if your business has been going good from the jump, then you're getting ready to hit a cliff.
Right. Very
If
true.
you haven't had any hardship, then it's like a red alert sign, I feel like.
Yeah, red alert. By the way, elephant in the room. You can obviously hear the sirens in the background. We're in
Chirac.
We're in a city, man.
Yeah. But Frank elevates himself above all the noise, if you can tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I don't hear it. I don't hear it at all.
Yeah.
I only heard it when you mentioned it. Then it's
Wow.
like my ear attuned to it. Oh, there is a siren in the background.
Right.
But
That's
living
amazing.
over here, it's like your head just kind of tunes out to it.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. A lot of people that are watching right now, they see the big stack of books behind you. They see that. This man is very learned, folks. Very studious guy. That's why I respect you, and you're a huge inspiration to me, man, in a lot of ways.
Definitely.
Really appreciate that.
For sure. And those of you guys watching, you guys got to tap into this guy, man. This man is. I told him, I can already see like the vision that he can see as himself. I can already see it like in the future, like being very successful billionaire. And this is the kind of stuff that kind of alludes to that, man. So, do you have any like book suggestions for like our audience that you would feel like they should read this year?
Yeah, man, that's a lot. It's a lot.
I know it's gonna be hard to choose, but
yeah, honestly, but I think a great book that I've recently read it's The Art of War or The War of Art. It's one of those, because there's two books. There's The Art of War.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, I have it
yeah.
right there. And then there's The War of Art. It's like somewhere sitting over there, but
Wow.
started reading that book. It's who's the author? Something Presley or something like that. But I would highly recommend that book because it talks about resistance. Resistance applies to multiple facets of life. In the gym, the process of growing is through resistance. In life, in business, the process of growing is through resistance. And resistance is not something that people actually really see. Oh, something happens in their life. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, no, there's always going to be resistance. And I feel like really understand them to like great detail what resistance is, and when it actually happens, be conscious of what is happening. I think it just allows you to be able to press on because you can see what is happening, and this is a process that you need to go through.
Right.
So it talks a lot about that and a lot of other things. So I think this is a book that can apply to everybody. It's not just one specific category, but it applies to like everybody.
Yeah.
Would you say that book teaches you how to like be calm in the midst of what someone would call a tragedy or chaos,
a crisis?
Like that, a crisis.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. Honestly.
That's important. People freak out a lot.
Can I add on to this? Like, I feel like that what you're talking about, and you I want you to expound on this if you could, because I feel like you're an expert in this. Like, for me, I will take like a cold shower, right? Because like I do like the Wim Hof method type of stuff, like putting your body in like something that like goes whoa, and then like you feel like nothing else in the day can really bother you. And I feel like the same thing is like with the gym. If I go to the gym, like I go like midway through my late morning, early afternoon type of thing. That's when I go to the gym. Yeah. And I feel like after I'm done at the gym and I focus on the muscle groups, I'm doing what I got to do. And I like to be consistent. So I don't push myself to the point of exhaustion, but I try to push myself pretty good on each rep. After that, I find myself being like ready to take on anything for the day. Is that what you're talking about? Because I love that feeling where it's like, oh, okay, this is happening, and that's fine because I've already conquered the day because of the fact that like, you know, that challenge in the gym, I'm already past that mentally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to a degree, yes. That is also that is part of what I'm talking about. Because I agree with you. Like going to the gym, that's for me. That's a foundational thing for me, right? I've been over a decade. I've been training. Right? Honestly, over a decade consistently. Wow. You know, that's why I like the way I do.
Right.
But yeah, just to kind of touch a little bit on that. Yes, going to the gym. For me, I go to the gym in the morning, and after that, it's like that's a check mark for me. Like I feel like I've already won a day. Like anything else that happens after that, it's like it's whatever. Because for me, like this is probably gonna be different for everybody else. Like health is exceedingly important, right? Your health, because I know a lot of people in the world don't really prioritize their health, but like that's the number one thing.
Yeah.
That's to life. That's what keeps you alive. That's what keeps you on this planet. That's what keeps you in the game of life and keep playing. You know, so I always prioritize that.
It's crazy how quick we forget that.
Yeah.
You know, nothing matters if your health is not intact.
Yeah, you could be a billionaire. If, like, there's a lot of billionaires, like they get to the top, their health is like deteriorated, and like eventually they don't make it. Boom, game over.
Right.
Because they, you know, they forgot the most important thing about life. It's your health span.
Time for a quote. I heard somebody say, I might be butchering this. It was like, if you don't invest into your health when you're young, you'll spend all your investments when you're old on your health. That didn't sound as cool as I thought it sounded. But basically, the analogy.
I get the gist, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here's another thing that I think is very similar to what you're saying. You know, a lot of people sacrifice their health in building something, like money or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And then eventually when they get to a point where they have that, it's like they will sacrifice all of the money that they have just for one day of good health.
He said it better.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wow. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
And see, I'll jump into this because I think this is very important to why I'm so, you know, I'm an advocate of my health. Because like when I was a kid growing up, man, like I was always sick. Because, you know, I grew up in Cameroon. So like Cameroon, which is like third world country, you know. Life over there is not the best. You know, there's a lot of people sick over there.
Where is
like,
that at? Like
Cameroon is
for the viewers.
Yeah, Cameroon is it's in West Africa. So like if you look at the map of Africa, it's like all the way in the west, right next to Nigeria. A lot of people are familiar with Nigeria because like they're more of a bigger country for a lot of other reasons, like music especially. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cameroon is like right next to it.
Cameroon.
Cameroon. Cameroon. Cameroon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I was born over there, and I spent 10 years of my life over there. And I was living with my mom and my brother, and my dad came to the state prior just to kind of set the foundation, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, growing up I was very sick, man. Like I had asthma amongst like other things, so it's I've experienced what not being healthy looks like, you know. Honestly, I was to the point of death because I was so unhealthy when I was a kid.
Wow.
It was a very like tragical part of my life, you know. With like asthma being like a very big thing that you know. Asthma kills a lot of people. Yeah. You know, some people don't make it through that. So
you had like a really bad asthma attack multiple times?
Yeah. I would like every week, at least 2 times, I would have an asthma attack.
Every week?
Every week.
Unprovoked or like doing like physical activity?
Just unprovoked, and just because
What?
the air quality over there is shit.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
so
Okay.
that's also part of it. You know,
Huh.
it's a thing that I never understood really, but like thank God it's over now. But yeah, it's like in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. I'll wake up having an asthma attack. My brother picks me up, runs to the hospital. You know, at least a couple times a month. So it was bad, man. It was bad. So like, I've definitely experienced being unhealthy to the point where you're like, man, is living worth it?
Yeah.
Like experience this, you know. So like when as you're a kid, like having those thoughts, man, it's scary. It's
Long
scary.
story short, did it improve when you came to America, or did you conquer it somehow?
Yeah, it definitely improved when I came to America. Yeah,
Okay.
it definitely improved when I came to America, you know.
Got
And
you.
so
it must be the air quality.
I mean, I think there's a lot of other things,
Yeah,
you know.
right.
I don't know what caused. I think some people are just kind of born with the pre-genetic to
Yeah.
kind of have
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool how how life works, you know. And if you believe in a higher power, just the idea of going through a scenario, you went through that, brink of death, and now here you are giving game on how to be healthy. Like I hate to say like, well, you had to go through that. Like you got to suffer so that you can help people, because sometimes you want to hear that suffering part.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's the perspective of it where now it's like, because you went through that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if you didn't go through that, you could save somebody else.
That's true.
That doesn't have the initiative to get up and go do it themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's dope, and that goes into anything we talk about. Again, like business or whatever. I might go through something, and my triumph is going to be it could be like the match that lights somebody else's journey. You know, so
Exactly.
that's dope, man. I didn't know
Appreciate
that
that.
too, man.
yeah, and honestly, this is not a lot of people know. You know, not a lot of people know this is something I keep very like, you know. So I wanted to share it, not like, you know, for your audience, but hopefully somebody finds some inspiration from this. You know.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
man. I know I found that was pretty touching, man, honestly.
Can I ask this for a quick segment? I know we got some topics, but
Yeah.
what is there anything growing up in Cameroon that you look back on and say like, man, that was rough?
Yeah,
Because
dude.
you said third world country, and I'm thinking like,
that's a
bro,
good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
because now look where you are. You know,
Exactly. Yeah, man. Just because like my family was we grew up like poor, you know.
Right.
And when you're living in a poor country when everybody else around you is poor, it's like it's a normal thing, you know. It's
Right.
like only when I came to America, it's like damn, we were poor, you know what I'm saying?
right.
But yeah, I think it can be I don't want to speak bad about my country. Like I love my country and whatnot,
Yeah.
you know, like I was born there and whatnot.
Right.
But
For sure.
I think everywhere else in the world, there's a lot of hatred. You know, a lot of people don't want to see you succeed or see you advance and, you know, move on to a better place in life, you know. So without going into like the intricate detail, but there was a lot of things that I like look back, it's like, damn, like that happened. I wish that it didn't happen, you know. But,
Yeah.
you know, hindsight, we're in, what did they say? Hindsight 2023 or
2020.
2023? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah,
I get that.
I made it through the other side. I would say that.
Amazing,
yeah.
brother. Wow, for sure. We're going to end the first segment with a couple of quick questions. We'll start the second segment with a couple of questions, some that I thought were pretty interesting. Number one, if you were an animal, right, which animal do you think you would be, and why does it represent you the most?
Yeah, I said easily a lion.
Yeah, I know you're gonna say that.
The most interesting part to me is the why.
The why?
I want to know why.
Yeah, because I think lions are fearless. You know, like lions are considered like the king of the jungle. You know, and they're fearless. But like the thing about this, the fearless part, right? And I think I approach life like that. You know, I take a lot of risk. I take a lot of risk in life, like multiple different facets. You know,
Yeah.
I'm very aggressive about life. Like if I see something I want it, like I'm gonna go after it, regardless if it works or not. You know, so I've very much taken my life in that approach. Like I've tried different experiences, like from like the bodybuilding to like the business that I'm building to like the fashion to the multiple facets of things that I'm doing. I'll go ahead and attack that.
I like it.
Amazing. I like that. For you, like in your life, who brings you the most joy?
Yeah, I think it's my mom. Not that I think, it's definitely my mom. Yeah, it's definitely my mom because I know I put my mom through a lot of things. Just kind of growing up, having her watch me go through that experience. It's like it must be very sad for a mother to think that, man, maybe like my kid may not be here tomorrow, or whatnot, just because he's sick, you know.
Right,
but
yeah.
She very much like empowered me. Very much empowered me. She took care of me, you know,
Yeah.
to where I am today, you know.
Yeah.
So to this day, she's a lot of the reasons why I do the things that I do, just to be able to just give her better than give her better, because she sacrificed her life just basically for us, not
Right.
just me, but like my whole family.
I
You
love
know.
taking care of your people. That's something
Yeah.
that's big with me too.
Yeah, it's so definitely my mom.
For sure. In a lot of ways, she sounds like your motivation and your rock.
Yes,
you know?
man. Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she's the why.
She's the
She's
why.
the why.
Yeah.
Did she help put that line in you too?
The line.
Yeah, that
Oh
mentality.
yeah, 1,000. Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Get that from her?
Got it from
1,000%.
from
I think-
mama.
I think it's a combination of my dad and my mom.
Oh, yeah.
because my dad is very
Yeah.
passionate. Not passionate. Maybe it's not the word, but very
Driven? Yeah.
Just the story of how my dad even came to America is mind blowing. You know, but maybe that's something we can talk about later. But it's
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Yeah, we want to hear
You
about
know?
that for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely,
sure.
definitely. I love
I just want to
stories.
hear about that. Last question before the break. What's your favorite part about living in the city that you do? What's
My
your favorite
favorite-
part?
My favorite part about living in the city that I do.
Yes. Yep.
For me, honestly, it's the skyline. It's the skyline because, as I told you, like when I wake up in the morning, I just look at this like, damn, this is possible.
Wow.
And you think about just the level of effort and imagination and thought process that made the city what it is today, from like the architecture, the buildings, you know, that inspires you. Like, damn, let me take that energy and put it into my craft. So that's definitely one of the biggest.
Yeah. It never gets old.
Never gets old, man. It never gets old.
That's
awesome.
another level of thinking. I think
Yeah.
people can think in this level, and then there's another level, and there's another level.
It's-
That's outer level thinking. Thinking right there. Outer level thinking.
I love that, man, for sure.
Dope.
Well, it's break time, y'all. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show, everybody. You know what the deal is. That's capital AMOR, capital FATI, Amor Fati.
Like fine wine.
Do not forget it, please.
How could you?
And as you can see, the sun is setting.
Whew.
Since the last segment, it's
Oh, yeah.
setting.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Favorite time of the night.
Yeah. Wouldn't you say, Rob?
Yeah, very beautiful. Reminds me of elegance.
Elegance.
You know what I'm saying?
Elegance.
A sunset on the skyline is different because like the glass gets hit, and you know, you can see the sun. You know, I ain't gonna get to it. I'm gonna start crying.
Right.
start crying.
It's beautiful, man, for sure.
Definitely a nice spot though, man.
Yeah.
Man, I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
hosting the show here, man,
Oh,
too.
Yeah.
absolutely.
This is
Absolutely.
beautiful, man. Definitely a blessing. You know, before we left the break, as you guys know, we were talking about just certain like little lightning round questions. We want to start the round, the next segment with a couple of more questions. So we got a couple more here. Number one, this could go for both of you guys or anybody. Scuba diving or skydiving, and why?
For me, I say skydiving.
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 Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think skydiving. There's something about it getting deeper and darker in the ocean that I don't want to be a part of.
Same.
Skydiving also is one of those things where I feel like it'll test my courage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in a comfortable way, in an uncomfortable comfortable way. Because in the water, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage.
Oh, 1,000%, man. We're not water creatures.
Yeah.
We'll laugh.
Yeah,
I'm with you guys. I think skydiving for me too.
yeah.
Scuba diving kind of freaks me out. What if I drown? Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's like your first thought. Like, shit, what if I drown?
Right. Yeah.
And then they said you can't go up too fast because nitrogen builds up in your blood or something crazy. You ever heard of? Yeah, it's something weird about like people that dive deep. They can't go up too fast.
Oh, like decompression sickness or something.
Something like that. Yeah, and you can actually die. So I'm just like, hey, you know, the boat is cool for me. Boat is cool for me.
I'm still on land.
Yeah,
Where I
we stay-
belong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. This one could be for everybody as well. Like, what are you most grateful for this season in your life?
The one thing I'm always, and we talked about this, is just I'm healthy. If I'm healthy, I can do anything. That's
Yeah.
what I'm grateful for.
Your health and the way you take care of yourself, essentially.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. What about you, Rob?
I'll kind of expand on that. I think it's that and having healthy, conscious people around me. You know, you introduced me to Frank, and then I got a lot of people like you guys around me, and a lot of people that don't think like me are not in my life, and it's not a negative thing. I've been blessed to be able to find more of that. So the quality of people in my life for sure.
That's a good one.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Actually, not to.
Well, sorry, find
Happier.
something else.
No, I really am. I'm most thankful for the relationships that sort of exist in my life right now, and being thankful for like people that I used to maybe associate with that I guess have been cleansed from my life in a way, and it's like less draining, less distracting, keeps me more focused, and that's what I'm really grateful for, having good, solid people in my life, including like family. So
Definitely.
for sure.
And let me add one more thing. And this is something that you won't hear a lot of people saying this. Like, what? But I'm grateful for my struggles in life,
Yes.
I'm extremely grateful for that.
Yeah.
It's only in hindsight that you can really see it. Obviously, when you're going through struggles, it's like you're like very limited. Like your scope of view is very limited. But like when you're like a little bit above it, you're like, damn, I'm very grateful that I went through that. So I'm very grateful for my struggles in life.
When you fail, when you feel that you failed, you rejoice in a way. Would you say?
It's only after a point of reflection, you're like, damn, I'm really happy that I went through that. But like when you're in the situations, like you're in a tunnel, you can't really, like your scope of view is very limited, so you can't really see and have any form of reflection, and it takes honestly a great deal of mental acuity and power and discipline to be able to reflect in the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Okay. Tell us about your other business as well. I know you mentioned on the first half, Slooper and also Lion Media or Lion Media Ad. Tell the audience a little bit about the business and what you do, some exciting news with the business. I'm sure they'd want to hear about it.
Yeah. I'll share that, and then I can even kind of go back to even how it started, because I think it's always important to hear like the pilot, how things started. But
please,
Yeah, Lion Media, it's an advertising agency that I started back in 2019, 2020 with some partners at the time. We no longer have those partners.
Yeah.
So, this even started from Slooper, because with Slooper, it's like cool. One of the biggest things, like we didn't really know how to market, how to advertise. So I dove into marketing. I need to figure the shit out. And after not figuring it out, but after like getting into it, it's like, damn, I really like this. I think this is definitely something that I can extend as a business and offer this to other like clients as well. But yeah, advertising, I really just dove straight in. It's something that made sense to me. It's something that it's a valuable skill that anybody should have, and it's very lucrative.
Yeah.
And currently, when I started out, I was just doing like Facebook ads, running Facebook ads for like restaurants and whatnot. And then after that, expanded the product line to Google ads, right? And then eventually TikTok, and then eventually building like websites, doing website conversion optimization, and then Snapchat and a host of other like services that ultimately a business that wants to grow will need those services to reach their revenue goal, right? Something I really focus on is like revenue, right? Because the market that I focus on mainly right now is e-commerce, direct to consumer, because they're just like booming right now. E-commerce is booming right now. Everybody is starting a new e-commerce, this and that, and just like when you look at that, the overall like revenue, the year-over-year growth, it's insane, right?
Yeah.
And so I really focus on that. Typically, it's when I onboard a new client, it's like, oh, we just want to sell like Facebook or Google, like I'll do the strategy. Okay, cool. Bit after these keywords, this audience, creative, copy. Maybe if they don't have a website, we'll build the website and then launch the ads, and then we just kind of track revenue and ROI and whatnot. But yeah, that's Lion Media, and that's what we do.
That's amazing, man.
That's dope. You need it, man. This world is changing.
Yeah.
Old business is not. Those old models are getting kind of dusty.
Yeah.
You gotta be innovative.
Absolutely.
You gotta be innovative.
What's the biggest lesson you learned with this business, Lion Media?
The biggest lesson that I've learned with this business, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
Maybe this, I don't know if this it's a lesson, but it's like every business needs marketing, right? Not just business, but even an artist needs marketing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's honestly one of the most powerful piece of asset that you can acquire, to be able to market yourself and build it to market others. Because you could be the greatest thing, and you could be the greatest in your craft. If you can't market yourself, then nobody cares. Nobody can see that,
right?
And you can't really, make an impact with that, right?
Yeah.
So even if you want to be impactful, I have a product that this is really gonna change people's life. If you don't know how to market and get this to people, then nobody cares. You can't make an impact in the world. So that's one of the biggest things, honestly, with marketing that I've learned.
Yeah, because it's like spreading awareness, getting the product in front of people's eyes that otherwise would never see that.
Strategically,
strategically.
Sure. That's the biggest strategically, yeah.
So your business, it sounds like it solves a huge problem for like maybe a lot of companies that may start up. what would you say is your, I guess, niche if you like attack these markets for companies that are already established for your company?
So,
or do you target them at all?
so what is my niche market?
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, so I've had to like kind of re-strategize the market that we're going after. Before it was B2B, not B2B, but like most of the focus like B2B
Business
essentially,
to business,
business
right.
to business,
Yeah.
you know. But now it's most of the focus like direct to consumer.
Yeah,
Direct to consumer. As I mentioned, it's like the e-commerce is just booming and exploding, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, that's where I have a lot of experience as well.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the current market that I go after.
Did you mainly gain that experience through like Slooper? Or
No,
other things?
No, actually, and this is actually something that not a lot of people know. So, when I was building the business, like before the company was called Renaissance Media, that's when I had partners. But then I split with my partners back then, and then we kind of went our separate way. We took our clients, and then I rebranded it under Lion Media, right? But at the time when I had my partners, it's we were really trying to grow this thing.
Yeah.
And it was really tough, man, because we had some capital, but like the capital that we had really just covered our rent, you know. And this is like, man, this is really like the time when I struggle in this journey. It's like sometimes we didn't have money for food, bro, and then I would have to Instacart just for money for food and other things, you know.
Do like side gigs and
exactly.
Yeah.
Just
that's the reality of a lot of entrepreneurs starting their business. But continue though.
Yeah. So and then it came to a point where it was like, okay, cool, we need to figure something else out, because we were still like brand new into this thing. It's like the hardest thing about business is acquiring your clients, you know, client acquisition.
Yeah.
And so we weren't the best at that, you know. Yeah, we knew how to run Facebook ad, but you know, we weren't the best at actually getting clients for ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the biggest things. And so what we did actually, this is actually very, very smart, and I wish I would have thought about this before, but like we actually, all of us went to go work for other agencies, you know. We went to go work for other agencies to gain the knowledge.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now we have all this experience, like managing multiple clients. At the same time, we have our clients we're managing, you know.
Yeah.
And so not only now we have like the revenue to be able to cover ourselves, but we also get the experience as well.
Very smart.
You
That's
know.
really smart.
So honestly, and I think that's one of the biggest things that a lot of entrepreneurs, like, they sacrifice everything. Oh, I'm gonna go like head on with this business.
Right.
But it's like you have to think about, like, you have to be like realistic about things too. You know?
Absolutely.
Most businesses don't
Right.
don't succeed. 90% of it fails.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have money to cover your, like, you know, you rent, you know, other things, then like,
Yeah, life goes on. Those bills continue. And this is what I was talking to you about in terms of like, so like the renewable energy solar business that I'm getting into. You know, me and my partners figured it'd be smart to work under a sales company, be the salesman, learn, and get educated on it first, and then gain the clientele, gain the experience. And then while we set up our business to scale on the side, I mean, I relate to that 100%, man, for sure.
So I think that's a big secret. Not a secret, but it's just not a lot of people do that.
Right.
It may be an ego thing, whatever. Because at the
think
time,
it's-
for me, was
Or
an
it could
ego.
be ignorance. They think entrepreneurship is just, let's just dive into it, forget about everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get so deep into it that now like your personal life is kind of screwed up financially in
There
a
you
way.
go.
Then you got to go back to a job. Then it's like, damn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to me, man. I piled up a lot of debt, business debt, and stuff like that, just to kind of make it through. You know.
Yeah.
So-
can you talk to us a little bit about that? And you alluded to that earlier in the show, and me and you've talked on a personal level. What are some of those struggles that you've faced and the realities that you faced, aside from what you've named already? Like, you want to dive deep into that, or?
Yeah, man. Because first of all, like, I'm very, very, very much like passionate about what it is that I do, the business. Because when we started the business, it's like your baby. You want to do everything to keep it alive and to feed it, you know.
Hell yeah.
And so in the process of growing my business, like, I took on a lot of debt to fund my business, because, you know, a lot of it was like private. You know, it's like I had to like stack it up on top of like my personal.
You're putting it on your credit card. And shit.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, because like when you're starting a business, like, these banks don't want to give you funding. It's a massive risk for them, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which I understood now going through that experience. Like, no
Having
banks,
like an LLC and shit.
exactly.
Yeah.
No banks wanted to give me money, you know. So like I had to take out personal loans just to kind of fund my business, you know. And so it's an investment, and those investments didn't really pay off at the time.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, damn, I had like a lot of debt that like I had to pay off and things like that. And so, yeah, man, that's when shit was really scary, you know. Stacked up a lot of debt, credit cards and whatnot, just so I can fund the business. You know, and then sometimes it's like when things aren't working out, man, it's like you're very narrow. You can't really see far. You're like, shit, what am I gonna do? I have all this debt. My business is not really going to the direction that I wanted to do. It's like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
You know, that's when it's like really scary. you know.
So what helped you stay locked in those moments? What helped you not to quit?
And that's a very good question. Obviously, it's the biggest. It's like, cool. Kind of have to go back on why did I even do this in the first place?
Yeah.
You know, like the why into this. You know, because
Yeah.
man, being in a country like America is that's a great opportunity. You know, and something like something that we talked about before. It's like, I want to do something for my family. This is not just for me, you know. So every time I think about it, it's like, cool.
Absolutely.
This is not just for me. I have to do this. And like,
Absolutely.
the way really to be like free and to build wealth in this country is business is one of the things. Obviously, there's multiple ways, but like business is one of those things that really can free you.
Yeah.
You know. And so that's what kind of kept me going. And then eventually, as like the struggles goes, you learn. That's the biggest thing. You learn like all that learning like compounds, and then you figure it out eventually. Oh, okay. Good. So it wasn't a waste. Now I can. This is what is working. Now I can keep doing this.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
That's a great perspective, man.
Yeah. I heard somebody talk about like contrast, and it wasn't so much about business; it was more so in life. But it applies to everything. It's not until you know what you don't want that you can identify 100% what you do want. And I might have said on the podcast before, but yeah, you gotta. You know, or as someone said, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you guys have heard that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, man. A lot of people don't do that, but we're, like you said, it might be ignorance. We're not taught perseverance, or you might hear about it, but you know, it's one thing to hear about it or to read it or whatever, but when you apply it, because you get all that knowledge, people out. I'm sure entrepreneurs in their early stages are going to go out, you know, try to get educated on what it means to be an entrepreneur and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then you got to apply it because that day is coming for the information to be, you know, put to
Exactly.
action. You know.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a
Well
just a
said.
big risk.
It's
Big
worth
risk,
it, man.
and people
Yeah.
don't like to take those type of risks because
Yeah,
it's very
right.
scary.
Yeah. It's definitely like a long journey. It's like, it's long.
When you hear these like stories of like these big business people though, like it's pretty common to hear like a rough start.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's pretty
Journey in
common.
terms of like, you may think that it's the end of the road, but like it might be just be the beginning.
Yeah.
It might be an awakening. It might be something like you never fucking know like where
Yeah,
you could be, and,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
Honestly.
I think the beauty of it to me personally is the unknown, is the abyss, is the thing that may freak people out. You know, I think that's the
Yeah.
cool part. Otherwise, if everything was just so easy, we could just get it. Everybody became rich so easily.
Yeah, everybody would do it.
Then the game wouldn't be as tantalizing. It wouldn't be as fulfilling, I guess. But I mean,
That's so true. That's very true.
yeah, for sure. Let's talk one last thing in terms of business, man. You dropped hella gems.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate you. And you talk a lot about your business. Talk about the significance of like relationships and how, I guess, important it is for your business models that you have.
Yeah. Honestly, relationship in business is, I don't want to say everything because that's what I was going to say, but it's a lot of things. Building up business relationships with potential clients, right? Because even like when I did have an agency job, right? I built a lot of relationship with like entrepreneurs, founders, and things like that, you know. And today, a lot of those are my clients now, right? And yeah, just building those relationships with those individuals, man, because you never know who you never know who you're gonna meet, right? Going to a coffee shop, like you never know who you're gonna meet there too as well, right? But I don't know really how to answer that, but yeah, relationship is a major thing in business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, for sure.
Is the relationship building process? Is it about focusing about the person first in terms of just having a I recognize you as a person before opportunity mindset, or do you think a lot of people are just skipping through that and just saying like, well, let me talk to this person because they're rich, or this person clearly could be another client.
Yeah.
Like the beginning stages of that building.
Yeah, that's honestly a good question because I know a lot of people go about building a relationship like the wrong way.
Yeah.
They see somebody as just an opportunity, not even an opportunity like, oh, what can I take from this individual?
Right.
But like think about like, oh, what can I offer to this individual?
Right.
What kind of skill set can you in exchange to not like from a monetary, but like just to establish the relationship, right?
Yeah.
And don't just try to like take the fruit right now, you know, but it's like build and foster the relationship. Hey, like, what can I do for you? Anything that I can help you with? Or let me connect you to this individual because I know that you need help with this, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the whole process of building a relationship. And it takes months and years take months. The deals that I've closed now, I remember I started the relationship like a year back. Right? When you talk about like a deal life cycle, you know, like it can last up to a year.
Yeah.
Planting seeds, man.
Planting the seeds.
Yeah, you're planting seeds.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, for sure. So we've been talking about like the significance of it, the importance of it, but like, can you name a time or like a certain situation where you had a relationship that I don't want to say like fell out, but like more so was like it took an interesting turn per se? Do you have anything like any stories that you can tell?
Oh yeah,
us on that, like something that would be like, yeah, this crazy thing happened with this person, like
yeah, absolutely.
Like
and also, like I said, like my previous business, Renaissance Media, like I had partners. Like that relationship quickly took a turn, quickly. Because the thing is, especially when you're just really new into entrepreneurship, into business, when you start making money, people get greedy. You know, it's like, oh, I think I should have this much, or this and that. You know,
right?
And so yeah, like we got greedy, and so when you get greed, people want to like really focus on themselves, right. Essentially, you know.
You think ego plays into that, at least in your situation? Do you think ego played into that?
It's ego, selfishness, money, and a host of other things, you know, which essentially kind of severed the relationship that I had with my partner. Because we were great friends, you know, prior to that, but now we don't even talk because of business.
Wow.
And this is common in business.
Right.
This is very common.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you, like, do you think that self-aggrandizement that they had led to, or did it lead to, but you just answered that question. If you could change things, though, at least what you could control, which is what you did, is there anything that you would change in terms of that relationship or how you moved?
Yeah, 1,000%. Because I think a lot of it was because of me, too. I was very young, immature at the time, too, as well, you know. So I think I could have certainly gone about, because essentially, like, I started the thing, and so I was the leader. So, like, there's definitely a lot of things that I could have kind of established in the beginning, you know. Yeah. Even when I built a relationship, just kind of starting a business with partners, establishing like the shares and stuff like that. That's not something that we never really did, you know.
Right.
Later up, that ended up being a big thing.
Was that due to like ignorance or like?
Yeah, ignorance.
Just in okay,
yeah, ignorance.
Okay.
It was really due to ignorance. You know, I didn't understand a lot of this thing. You know, when you start a business, like how much equity of the company are you supposed to give to your partner and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, so it was ignorance.
That's beautiful.
What
because it leads straight to the point of that's how you learn.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Making those mistakes. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I love tying it all together. But my question is, so what would you say about going into business with your friends?
That's it's a thing that's not recommended at all in business.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the percentage is, but like a disproportionate amount of percentage is going to end up not good. And then that just severs the relationship. Even with family members, it severs that. And sometimes it's just something that's never healed or never fixed.
Yeah.
So me personally, it's because right now I have a business like, you know, Slooper. It's with my brother. Yeah. Right. And so, yeah, and there's been some times to where things kind of got shaky. That relationship got really shaky.
Oof. Wow.
You know, so I think it's something you got to be very careful. Yeah. Very careful. Like set boundaries in the beginning. You know, even though it's family, it's your friends, set boundaries, sign paperwork just to kind of protect yourself.
That's the biggest thing. I think you just named the biggest thing. I feel like in order to have any relationship that will work well, is establishing the boundaries, setting the expectations, exactly. And then constantly updating those expectations, right? Mm-hmm. Things evolve, so you can't. Something that was established 6 months ago doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is now, because things may have changed, business-wise, financially, or
people change.
People change. People are fickle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's you make a good point, man. I'm relating to all of this stuff.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you more than me, but yeah, we've had our our sit downs over paper too. And,
absolutely, yeah.
No bad blood, but it was clear that certain things weren't all the way addressed, and we thought we were doing it, like you said, out of ignorance.
Yeah,
we tried to take initiative for a lot of things too. So I understand how it could be.
Yeah,
and
accountability.
Yeah,
you know, gotta have
out of all of us, you know.
And I applaud you for your answer to that question earlier. It's like you took accountability.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You first one to raise your hand. Like, yeah, I played into that too. So that's cool. You know.
Yeah, it's got to be hard being the guy on top too. You know, because the toughest decisions are gonna be made by you.
Yeah, that's the thing with leadership. Yeah, leadership is hard.
Yeah, you got to bear the brunt of your decisions and live with it and represent it and everything.
Exactly.
That's beautiful, man. So last topic that I wanted to get into before we end things here, it's back on the fitness topic, because what better than, you know,
a couple curls,
Mr. 10 years straight fitness
man,
guru.
Yeah.
So I know both are very important, right? I know both are very important, but I wanted to see which one do you lean towards the most, and I think I have an idea, but I'm just gonna go and ask it. We got to make sure that your nutrition is right. You're putting the good things in your body. Like you just introduced, like the IV to us.
The good IV. Yeah.
Thank you for that, by the way,
Absolutely.
and the creatine, by the way.
It's amazing.
Shout out,
Bro. Check it out.
Yes, absolutely. Liquid IV creatine. Check it out. And obviously going to the gym, making sure that you're doing your fitness, cardio, whatever, resistance training. In your opinion, based on your results, what do you think you lean towards more in terms of importance for that? I know they're both important, but like, what do you think trumps the other in terms of importance?
Yeah, it's always the diet, the nutritional aspect of it, always. And it's just the science shows that. It's not even just an opinion thing, it's like the science shows that. Yeah, science, just the nutrition, it's like the 80 of 20. Yeah, 80% of it is the
80%?
nutrition. 80% of it is the nutrition.
Wow. Damn.
So you would argue that the muscle does need to be pushed to be stimulated, but it doesn't take a lot for it to stimulate.
Not that. So you can, because like your day-to-day activity kind of depends on like what you do, like for work or whatnot,
Right.
you know. If you're like eating healthy and you're eating like the right food,
Yeah.
I mean, your body will grow just doing your normal activity. Your body
wow.
but like marginally though, marginally. If you want to enhance that, obviously supplementing that with workout would just accelerate the growth of the muscle.
Got you.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Can't be eating McDonald's and going to the
Dude,
gym,
it's,
man.
Please don't.
I
I
eat
know
don't-
guys that do
McDonald's
that.
at all.
I know guys that do that.
It's been probably a couple of years since I'm eating McDonald's, but I think it's just with my current understanding and knowledge, not only about business but about like nutrition. It's I mean, it's not good for you. Don't do it. No,
Simply
say
put,
that.
yeah.
Don't do it.
Just stay away from that stuff, man.
Yeah.
They sprinkle the pesticides on those fries on the farm, and they can't go buy them for like 3 days, and then we eat that. No, just please.
Can't go by it for 3 days. It's crazy. That's toxic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
toxic.
And then you put that in your body. So, what about you, Ro? What's your opinion on that?
I didn't know the ratio was that big, but there's no doubt nutrition.
Yeah.
Because I think we were talking about at the break, you can't perform the best if you don't feel the best, and the only way you're going to feel the best is putting the right thing in the gas tank.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we've all heard it, but your body's a Ferrari, and if you're going to put low grade into a Ferrari, you're going to be sitting on the side of the road at some point. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be sitting on the side of the road at some point, and guess what? You're going to call the dealership, your doctor, and you're going to say, "What's going on?" And they're going to say, "Did you put that low grade in there?" And you're going to be like, "I sure did, buddy." So I would say that, but Frank has inspired me in a lot of ways. The content he's put out there. When I do get in that gym, I know it's time to work. I know it's like everybody has their own pace, but for the ones that really want to see change and growth, you got me really trying to push myself. And I think that the intensity of the workout, but definitely the foundation being the nutrition, that's where my mindset is these days as I get better and better in this fitness journey.
I love that, man. I love that.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up here, guys. This has been a great episode.
Oof.
Man, I wanted to thank you so much for hosting us and just dropping so many gems for our audience, man.
Absolutely,
For
man.
sure. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you for the drive coming over here and just introducing me to your audience and whatnot. So I really hope a lot of people can extract something that can help them grow in one way or another. But thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you so much. You're welcome back anytime on the show.
Oh, I'll be more than happy.
That goes without being said.
Yep.
Is there any last things you want to impart to the audience before we dip out?
Yeah, honestly, I think the biggest thing is having some type of goal and some type of destination, right? Because once you have a destination and a goal, it's everything else changes. The way that you think changes, the opportunities that comes to you changes, the way that you look at life changes by just having an end goal. It doesn't have to be an end goal, but just having something that you're working towards, right?
Yeah.
And just by doing that, man, you kind of reshift and realign your life to meeting that specific target with that specific goal. But yeah, that's been one of the biggest things for me, just setting out goals, and then just the magic happens. You start to read the books. That's gonna you start to read the books, like that's gonna help you get to that goal. You start to find partnership or meet with people that's gonna help you align with that, And so it's like kind of narrowing yourself. So this is what I want. Because once you don't have a goal, it's like you kind of welcome everything, you know. You're just kind of like all over the place with no destination. Yeah, that's been one of the biggest things for me. I learned that from reading multiple books, but yeah, having a goal.
Yeah, I don't want to go on an airplane that the GPS isn't set with destination. Yeah. We're going to be flying for a while.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you heard the man. Have a goal, set a destination, and chart your course. Yep. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for tuning into Amor Fati, man. Damn. You're watching the Amor Fati show with Mavi and Raw. And look, we really appreciate y'all tapping into our podcast and sharing all of our videos. But if you love our content and enjoy the conversations that we have with all of our guests, it might behoove you to hit that like and subscribe button below. I mean, it really helps out our channel a lot, and we'd really appreciate it, honestly. Don't you agree, Raw?
Man, you ain't never lied. I mean, it's giving loyalty.
Facts.
And look, underneath this video, there's a notification icon. And when you smash it, you get loaded with everything we drop. And I mean, we always dropping.
Man, we be dropping heat.
So listen, we appreciate you guys. And as always, the secret to living is giving. So give us some love, baby.
Period. Full stop.